I'm Scott Harper, Bristol Bar and Grille Wine Director and Sommelier. Welcome to the first episode of Bristol Barrel Bin Number 1. Today we're going to talk about wine labels and ordering wine in a restaurant. I have an old world wine and a new world wine here. A lot of the information on the labels are pretty much the same. Let's start off with this white wine called Honig Sauvignon Blanc. On the label, you have, of course, the Honig, which is the producer, the people who actually make the wine. You have Sauvignon Blanc, which is a grape varietal. In California, you have to have at least 75% of the grape variety in the wine to actually label it after the grape. We also have the vintage date, which was the year the grape was harvested. And then we also have the alcohol, which is the fun stuff here, listed there for your information. A lot of times on the label as well, on the front label, you'll have the appellation, where the wine was from, where the wine was picked. Other fun stuff like the volume and that kind of stuff. A lot of times you can find some interesting information on the back label, but that depends on each one. Now, when you talk about wine from the old world, this is an example of a French wine, a Châteauneuf du Pape. Châteauneuf du Pape is actually the area where it's from, so they don't list the grape variety on the label, although this wine can be made from up to 13 grape varietals. In addition to that, you have the producer again, Père, and the same information, like alcohol by volume, how much wine is in the actual bottle, and some other information like appellation contrôlée. And again, you can look at the back bottle for some more information. This actually does tell you a little bit about the grape varietals in the back of the label. Question number 1, what makes a good wine list? In my mind, a good wine list is something that is concise and simple and easy to read. It lists the name of the producer, the name of the wine itself or the grape variety. It lists the vintage and the appellation, which is where the wine's from. That there's wines in every price range for every occasion, and that the wine goes well with the food that's listed on the dinner menu. These are some of the best things about a good quality wine list. Question number 2. Should you be intimidated when ordering wine in a restaurant? Absolutely not. You're there to enjoy a great experience in a restaurant. If you're going to order the wine and you're not sure how to pronounce it, don't worry about it. You're paying for the wine. A lot of wine lists have bin numbers on that you can simply tell the server the bin number, and that can translate your order to them just fine. Also, if you aren't sure what to order, feel free to ask for help. Many restaurants have people that are very qualified to help you with your selection. Remember, you're there to have a good time. Question number 3. How much is in a bottle of wine? There's 25.4 ounces in a 750 milliliter bottle, which equates to about 4 6-ounce glasses. A lot of restaurants make different pours for their wines by the glass. At the Bristol, we have a copious 7-ounce portion, which is usually on the high side. This is 8.5-ounce glass. You see it fills it up to the rim, but we also have some real neat glasses that can hold an entire bottle of wine. It doesn't fill the glass all the way up, but what this does is it allows you all the room to swirl and smell and capture the great aroma of this wine. Wow, that smells good too. Question number 4. How is a nice wine list organized? The Bristol wine list is organized very simply. Typically we put the varietal, and then under the varietal, like Chardonnay, Cabernet, Merlot, Sauvignon Blanc, we have the producers underneath of it with the vintage, the appellation, and then the price either by the glass or by the bottle or both. In some instances, when we only have 1 or 2 wines, we don't put them under the varietal category. We put them under interesting white or interesting red, in which case we list the same information besides maybe the actual varietal itself because it may not be listed on the label. The bottom line is it should be user-friendly, easy to read, and neatly organized, so it makes wine purchasing easy for the guest. Question number 5. What about the bin number? Bin numbers are there for customers' convenience in ordering a bottle of wine. If there aren't bin numbers, feel free to pronounce the wine. Heck, if you mispronounce it, no big deal. You're buying the wine. I'm a trained sommelier, and I cannot pronounce every wine of the world, Spanish, Austrian, German, French, etc. Really what you're just trying to do is get a bottle of wine to the table. Feel comfortable doing that. If the server corrects you, smack them upside the head. Question number 6. When should you ask for help? If I was in a restaurant and I was unfamiliar with a lot of the wines and I wanted a nice bottle of wine, I would certainly ask for help. A restaurant wants you to ask for help because it's much better for the restaurant and for you to order a bottle of wine that you'll like and enjoy with your meal than find one that you aren't really sure about and you're uncomfortable with, and you get it and it's not really the style that you like. Or, God forbid, you just say, heck, I'll bail on the wine and get some iced tea. A lot of interesting wine lists out there now, especially in ethnic restaurants that represent some wines that maybe you haven't heard of that could be your new favorite wine. Question number 7. What about price range? I think it's important that a wine list has a lot of different price ranges. The most expensive wine isn't always the best wine for a number of reasons. One, it may not be to your taste. It may not be from a particularly good year, or maybe not even from a good producer. So feel free to try wines in every price range, and a good wine list should afford you that opportunity. I've been fortunate enough to have bottles of wine that cost thousands of dollars, and it doesn't mean that I don't still enjoy a nice $20 bottle of wine in a restaurant. So feel free to experiment. Just because it's reasonably priced doesn't mean it's not good quality. Question number 8. What's the best way to tell a server how or what type of wine you like? First thing I would tell them, do you like white or red? Easy enough. Then go from white or red to dry or sweet. Do you like that residual sugar in your wine, some sweetness to it, or do you like it bone dry? Next thing I would tell them is light or full. Do you like a big, robust red wine or a light white wine? Think about these when you communicate to your server, because once you've communicated to them, they should help you determine which wine you would like. Question number 9. What about the cork? Don't worry about it. Forget about it. It means nothing. It's what's in the bottle. Bear in mind today that we have corks, synthetic corks, and screw caps. It's really what's in your glass. Taste the wine. Question number 10. What about when they pour the wine for you? This is what it all comes down to. This is why you're at the restaurant, to enjoy yourself and have a good glass of wine. Sniff the wine, take a taste, and if you like it, say pour away. If there's a problem with the wine, if it's oxidized or it's corked or some of these things you hear about, we don't want you to drink the wine. We want you to send it back and get a bottle of wine that you enjoy. You're buying the wine. You should be happy with it, especially if there's a problem with it. I've recommended wine to people before, noticed they weren't drinking, and wonder, gosh, this is a great bottle of wine. We'll come to find out later that it's a bad bottle. Restaurateurs want you to send back a bottle if it's bad. If it's not a matter of personal taste, consult your server. I'm sure they can work that out as well. Remember, it's your money. Thanks for joining me for the Bristol Barrel Podcast. In the future, we'll be doing all kinds of information about wine, wine tasting, wine and food pairing, wine education, and have some fun. Makes me thirsty just thinking about it. If you want more information, go to bristolbarngrille.com or email me at scott@bristolbarrel.com. Until we uncork our next episode, cheers.